Hi guys, you're listening to Start and Select podcast. I'm your host tonight, Adam, and I'm joined by Stephen, Colin, and Nathan. We're going to talk about some news in the tech and game industry, and then talk about some upcoming games. So, first of all, what I want to talk about is the price list that's been leaked for the PS5. And just for anyone who doesn't remember, they've suggested that the digital edition is 350 quid. The Blu-ray edition is 450 quid. That's the one with the disc drive. Controller for 55 quid. Camera 55 quid. And Miles Morales, the Spider-Man game, for 30 quid. They've also, which we didn't talk about when you told us, Colin, is that the release date is supposedly the 20th of November.
Right.
So knowing all this, I mean, obviously it's not confirmed at this point, but Colin, because you brought it to our attention, what do you think of that price list? Like, would you be going for a digital or the Blu-ray version? And are you going to be queuing up on midnight and the 19th of November outside Blockbusters with your umbrella?
Midnight. I'm probably not going to get it myself, just because there's only one or two games for it, and I don't really get consoles first day anyway. I wait for a bit to have a library of games to choose from. But 450 and 350, I think, is really, really reasonable, and I don't see Xbox arguing with that. I think they're going to do the same.
What exact same price like a digital and a Blu-ray edition?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Did Xbox have Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
The 360 was the one that they struggled with. I don't know if you guys remember. You had to buy an extension pack for the HD. Yeah, you had to buy I think it was like 60 to 80 pounds or something like that, just to play HD DVDs on your console, and then HD DVDs been busted, didn't they?
Yeah.
And the 360, you needed a fucking wireless adapter as well.
Yeah,
sticking out the back, yo.
That was about 40 quid itself.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if you could do Ethernet. I think you could. Well, what about you then, Stephen? Do you reckon you're going to be going digital or Blu-ray? Right, or neither?
I'll definitely be going Blu-ray. I was like physical copies and stuff like that. Even when I'm done with a game, I can trade it in and then put it towards another one and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that's worth 100 quid then? Yeah. Price
difference. Yeah. Overall, yeah. Over time, I mean,
that's the other point then. Like the Miles Morales game is 30 quid. Now it kind of confirms that it's not a full game. I think it has been confirmed that it's like a DLC add-on standalone game. But to me, 30 quid is the price you'd pay for DLC anyway, like The Last of Us or Uncharted. So I know it was the NBA 2020, Colin, that you said.
Yeah, that was $70.
But based on that Miles Morales pricing, to me, I reckon games would be like 50 quid. I don't think they're going to be going up to 60, 65.
Yeah, I can't see it going any more than 55. I know it's the next gen, and usually you do get like a price increase with the games and even accessories and stuff like that. But I think 55 seems about right. I mean, it could be either here or there. But with those NBA games, don't you always do like Elite Edition when it comes with all, I don't know, some sort of like microtransactions and stuff like that, and then you get basketball player cards or whatever. I mean, I don't buy them, but I know they do stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen FIFA do stuff like that. But for me, with the price range of the actual console itself and the leak, if it is true, I think they're both reasonable prices. What is it, 350 for the physical, and then 350 for the physical, for the digital, and then 450 for the Blu-ray. Yeah, I think they're quite reasonable prices. I mean, especially for the physical, we weren't too far off the mark last time. We said about 500, more or less. But I would definitely be picking up the physical console just because I think over time, you just make your money back anyway. You'll make a lot more money back. And I think just having a physical copy of a game yourself in your hands is just worth a lot more than no digital. But the thing that I think is really surprising is not just the price of the both of them, but the price difference between both of them. Like, they're willing to lose 100 quid for you to convert to digital. And I think that's a smart move because, one, it makes it a more reasonable price for people, for a lot of people, and two, it's like that £100 is a big enough difference for me anyway. But they will make that money back over time, whether it'll be a year or 2 years, depending on
100%.
the player.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm got to agree. I think it was you, Colin, or I can't remember who said, but I agree that I think Xbox is gonna be doing similar to the price range, even maybe just undercut them by like 20 quid. I can see something like that, but yeah, I think I'm really happy with the price. And like I said, I think the price difference to me is more interesting. Like just how they like value their digital version of the console.
Well, the thing is, like, they make a shitload. Sorry, am I allowed to swear on the podcast?
Fuck yeah.
All right, they make it. They make a shitload more on the digital copies of the games because they're not actually having to make them physically.
Well,
And
yeah, it's like
there's no
shipping.
middleman like
They don't
game or
pay
whatever.
shipping. They don't pay
Yeah,
no
it's
percentage to
true.
the retails. Like
But
they,
this, I was. Sorry, go on.
no, sorry, I was just saying, like, they don't have to give any money to retailers and they don't have to pay for shipping. Like, they're literally getting that full whack, 100%. It's like Steam,
Yeah.
right? That's why
And
Steam's are doing so many good deals and cheap games because
I
they
don't-
don't have to bother.
I don't understand it though because I was literally talking to Billy, my missus, about this today, and I was saying like the digital editions are always well more expensive, and even she's noticed that.
yeah, they are.
And in my head I'm like, why? Because, like you said, there's no shipping, there's no product, there's no making the product, there's no designing the cases or doing artwork for the games and stuff. And also, like, they lose money on games because then they get resold. With digital copies, they don't get resold. So wouldn't it be smarter for any company this is to sell a game cheaper online, knowing that two people are going to have to buy that game instead of one person buying it and reselling it to someone else? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah,
the thing with this digital console is you're not going to have a choice of buying a physical copy. You have to get it from them for whatever price they want.
But it's going to be more expensive, though, isn't it? It always is online. On the
Yeah.
PS Store, anyway.
Yeah.
It's all, unless it's like a few months old. Another point, then, and one no one's really spoke about, is that HD camera. And the reason I think that's interesting is, and I want to ask you about this, Nathan, because as far as I know, you watch Twitch pretty regularly, right?
yeah, fair.
And that's primarily like a PC heavy streamer base because of how easy it is to stream from the PC. If you want to stream from your console, you can do, but you need to use Sony, the Sony camera for the PS4, or you can use a capture card to stream it on your PC. So don't you think by pricing that camera at 55 quid, it's going to hurt amateur PlayStation streamers, like people who aren't willing to pay for a capture card and who aren't willing to do it through the PC? They can't just buy a cheap camera because Sony have always been pricks for this. Like, you always have to use their piece of equipment.
I think it was. I think this kind of goes back to. I think it was our first podcast we said when we said we want the, like if you want to like make content and stream, we want that to be more accessible for this generation, and I think this kind of just falls under line into that category. It's like even with because I watch a lot of streaming, but there's a lot of people. Even people know, like I watch a lot of fighting game community like videos. People like I'll watch like a player who's won like a big tournament, and then even he's streaming off his PlayStation or one or two of them, and they don't have a camera. Like they will literally just stream it off the PlayStation, and then they won't have a camera. But they make do with it, but obviously it's not as high quality as if you see other streamers. But I think you're right. I think this is hurting like people starting up their own content. And I don't get why they would just like single it out like that, like just kind of cut people off rather than making it more accessible.
We don't know though. Maybe you can use other cameras on it, but I doubt it.
Oh, right. So it's not been confirmed yet.
It's not. We don't know, but based on
going
PS3,
off PS3,
the iToy, and that was PS2 on it, and then the PS3 and PS4.
Yeah.
Talking about streaming, then the next thing I want to talk about is rest in peace, Mixer, yo. 22nd of July, yo.
Yeah.
I watched some clips on YouTube yesterday of some Mixer streamers crying. I was talking to you about it, Stephen, wasn't I?
Yeah.
They were crying about the death of that subpar shitty streaming service. And Microsoft are now opening up partnership with Facebook Gaming, apparently. So we know Nathan does. I watch quite a lot of Twitch as well. What about you, Colin and Stephen? Do you guys watch much streaming or not?
I never watch it.
Yeah, I don't. Only if it's like a tournament or something like Evo or something like that. That's all.
I keep up to date with like news regarding it.
This isn't really. Sorry, go on.
Like with the whole Mixer thing, I keep up to date with how they've got sponsorships and they have people under contract who can only work for them.
Yeah, yeah. I think the thing is though, like, you might not be interested in Mixer, but I don't think the death of Mixer is what's interesting. I think it's the Xbox or Microsoft's partnership with Facebook Gaming. Like, what the fuck?
I think that's been in the pipeline for a while, because
why?
I don't know if it was last year or around then, that the link between your PlayStation and Facebook, like they cancelled it.
Oh, I didn't notice that, I'll be honest.
Oh, I mean, my take on this is, sorry, Colin, you can carry on.
Like, do you know, like, if you want to put something onto Twitter, you can do it straight from your PlayStation.
Yeah.
You used to be able to do that onto Facebook as well.
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, I remember it
about a year or so. They got rid of it.
Yeah, the Facebook integration thing.
Yeah. So, like with Microsoft working with Facebook on this Mixer deal, it could have been in the pipeline since then.
See, my take on it's like the opposite. I feel like with all the streaming services like Twitch and YouTube is really, really big in terms of like streaming. You see a lot of streamers now streaming on YouTube, and even us, like you might not notice, but like when we were watching the PlayStation conference, the reveal event, was you guys watching it on the YouTube like live?
I was watching it on YouTube.
Yeah. So like you guys were, watching the YouTube streaming service, but it's like in terms of the three, Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube, Mixer was by far the underdog. They were definitely they were doing a lot of like work to make it big. But I think the deal with the Facebook, I think the opposite. I think they're kind of cutting their losses, like trying to lose as less as they possibly can. Because to me, I don't see them signing two, like for example, you got Stride and then you got Ninja. They're two big streamers, and it wasn't that long ago. I think they signed Ninja like maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
Beginning of the year, I think.
Was it okay? Nearly a year. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that long ago. He definitely had a lot more left on his contract before, obviously they were willing to give him up. And for them to give them two people up, plus there's a lot more streams, but I'm just using them two as an example. I don't see them doing that off their own back, unless they're just trying to cut as long as they're trying to lose as less money as possibly can with the Facebook.
Well, apparently they've offered like Ninja 60 or 70 million to sign an exclusive deal with them, but he turned it down.
With Facebook?
Yeah.
Do you know, I don't know if you've watched that video I sent you earlier, but like Facebook Gaming is the fastest growing streaming service. It's like 230% that it's grown in the past year.
Yeah.
Twitch has grown 100%, Mixer grew 0.2%, and YouTube Gaming's grown like 70%. So the three of them are all growing, but Facebook Gaming is still nowhere near Twitch or Mixer. But what I don't understand is, why have Microsoft done this? They didn't need to partner up with anyone. And I think the thing with streaming is, if you're watching someone stream and you're like, oh, this guy's a bot, he knows your name, he knows your mum's name. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna be messaging you on Facebook and shit.
That's horrible.
Why would you be doing that,
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a weird move. I mean, like I said, I can't see it being like something that they're thinking they're going to gain a lot from. I see it just more as like, this isn't working. How can we cut it off without losing too much? We'll partner up with someone else that's already, like you said, is successful anyway. So I think that's their like method to it. But yeah, I don't know. With Mixer, to me, I think they had good ideas and they signed big streamers. But I don't know if you ever like. I know you got an Xbox, Adam, but if you ever go on the Xbox menu, and the user face for the Xbox is awful anyway. But they didn't really do well in terms of like the Mixer page. There was like a whole page for the Mixer, and it was just so confusing, I thought.
The whole UI, and I think that's Microsoft's fault.
You think,
the UI is just nasty. But I think they could have just left it as it was and been like, yeah, use Twitch on our platform. Because I'm worried we're going to get an Xbox or the next gen Xbox, the Series X, and there's going to be no option for watching Twitch on there. That's just going to fuck people more. Big time.
On the Facebook note, Facebook are trying to compete with YouTube with Facebook video.
No, I've noticed this. Yeah.
They brought it in a couple of years ago, and loads of people kicked off because people were just taking content off YouTube and putting it on their Facebook video page and then profiting from it. So I think having their own streaming service like this is another example of them trying to compete with YouTube.
I think
Switch.
I think they're going to struggle, to be honest with you. I think YouTube is, for that sort of stuff, it's dedicated for it. It's not necessarily social. I know it probably is counted as social media, but Facebook is well more.
Yeah, Facebook's trying to be like a jack of all trades sort of thing, and
Yeah,
it's not as good as the dedicated ones like YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah, I agree. The last bit of news then I wanted to talk about briefly is the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons, which have a major issue with the drift. And as far as I know, it's not been resolved by the Switch Lite or any new models of the Switch. And I think it's this week Nintendo bosses have apologized, but they said they won't say much more due to the ongoing class action suit in America. So I think this is a massive issue for Nintendo, and I've been saying it for a while. I remember arguing with you about it, Nathan, because I said I didn't like the Switch for this exact reason. But I personally feel it's put a huge dampener on the console for me. Like, the whole purpose of it was that it's a handheld and it's TV use. Like, the Lite was just handheld, and I get that. But this basically means, because of the drift issues on my Joy-Cons, that it is now just a console for me. I have to plug in, a wired pad. I don't use the Joy-Cons. And obviously, I'm not really asked about the motion sensor thing, but I don't get to use the touchscreen or anything like that. Though we've all got Switches. Has anyone else had issues with the Joy-Cons?
I have a Switch Lite.
Oh,
Did
you
you
got
say
Switch
you have,
Lite?
Stephen?
Yeah.
Did you say you had, Stephen?
No, I've got no problems with my one.
It's weird, that, isn't it? I don't understand it.
I think this is where my issue was ages ago when I was talking to you about it a while ago, because you're the one who brought it up to me, like, I think first. This is a while ago. And I was saying to you, oh, it's not that bad, is it? No, blah, blah. And I did believe that. And you did ask me, did I have one? And when I had one of my controllers that drifted. But now when you look at it, I do think you're right. Like, obviously, you can't argue with the amount of reports we've had of people's Joy-Cons drifting. It's a lot bigger issue than I thought it was, especially like now with all the, like I said, they had to go out and apologize now. But yeah, in terms of like my Switch, I've got 2 pairs of Joy-Cons, and one of them is drifting now. So I guess like 2 out of 4 of us. That's pretty big.
How bad is the drift?
50%. Unplayable.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not like, I don't know what your PlayStation pad's like, but I'm assuming that has some drift. All of ours do. Is yours all right?
Mine's fine. I've had mine 6 years and never had an issue.
But you are lucky though, Colin. Like, and you, Stephen, for not having.
No.
But then you've only just got your Switch
Yeah.
back, haven't you? So give it another 6 months and it'll. But
Yeah.
for me, it is unplayable. Like, I can't even play Animal Crossing, and that you don't even need, any sort of precision or time in things. It's just a fucking casual roaming around game. But I can't play Animal Crossing. I can't even control the menus. I had to buy a wired pad because it was that bad. And it's not just mine, but it's my son Alfie. He's got one at his mum's. It's that one. My stepson Jack, he's got one at his dad's, and it's that one. Now, it could be that we weren't taking proper care of it. I feel like we were, but I don't know. I think
I think you're right. I had the same issue. Like, mine was like, once it starts drifting, it's done. It is done. Like, you can't, like you said, you either got to send it off to repair, and that's if you've done it in the first year, or fix it yourself, which is not exactly easy for everyone to do.
No, it's not ideal.
Once it drifts, it's unplayable. Like you said, like, you can't even go through the menus.
What Nintendo should do is they should do what Microsoft did with the Red Ring of Death, because that's how big of an issue it is.
Well, they kind of are, right? It's just got a warranty of 1 year.
Yeah, which they shouldn't have. They should just fix it now at this point.
Well, I think they are fixing it. They do say you need a warranty, but I know one of our friends sent his off outside of the year warranty with no sort of paperwork or anything. They just fixed it and sent it back to him. But I know officially they're still saying it needs to be within the warranty.
Yeah, I've not got any paperwork with
a Oh, I highly recommend you keep the box it comes in, just in case, man. Because I think you need to send it back in the box and get the what do you call it, the assault code on it.
Yeah, it's some sort of code on the
Yeah,
thing.
because I didn't do that, you see. So I've basically I've got one pair of Joy-Cons that is fine. And to be fair, I have had that one for a while now, like over a year. But yeah, the original ones I got with the Switch, they're knackered, and because I can't send it back, I kind of just use one half of it if we ever needed to. No, if you want to split the controllers up, but it's not good.
Do any of you pay for the Nintendo Online service?
Yeah.
Oh, what is it? Because as far as I know, it's just cloud saving, isn't it?
It's just like an online service. So if you
Get
want
to
to play
play
online, yeah, and they give you
Oh,
free
right,
NES
okay.
games like
And
every
there's
month or so.
And you get the cloud
Which
saving.
I think is damaging to the console, really. I don't like that. I'd prefer to actually be able to buy what game I want, no rather than waiting for them to bring out a good game on there. Because they just released, like, it's like if you actually go on the app and it has all the NES and SNES games, it's not, the games aren't that good. There'll be one or two or three that are good. But I would rather just go in the eShop and buy that game, buy a specific game that I want to buy.
Like spend a $5 on that specific game or whatever.
15 quid if that's the game, if that's how much it costs, depending
Yeah.
on what kind of game. Because if you remember in the last, like, was it the Wii U? Yeah, the Wii U had it. It had, like, you could buy, it had a category for NES, SNES, N64, Sega. You know what I mean? It was literally what you wanted, and with it being handheld now, it's perfect. But
Yeah.
they want to do it this way through the online service, and it don't
Because-
work for me personally.
But then they probably get more money from it because I can't imagine many people would buy the games anyway. Like, they probably would, but NES games and SNES games and N64 games, well, NES and SNES have been re-released on the fucking Game Boy Advance, on the GameCube, on the Wii,
Wii
on
Shop.
the Wii U. Yeah, like, they've been re-released that many times. I can't imagine people are still buying them. At least this way they're getting some money out of it.
That's Nintendo, isn't it?
That's Nintendo, yeah.
Like,
There
There are Nintendo games that I think I've bought 3 times because they don't carry over onto consoles.
Well, that's what you were saying as well.
I mean, it's not just that. I mean, I might be wrong in this, but I'm pretty sure the sales for, like, Nintendo eShop is like one of the highest because
Yeah.
obviously their library. It's like I think I bought Paper Mario on the Wii U, Paper Mario 1. That was the N64 game. I think I bought that for like 15 quid. And my wife played that. She loved it. Blah blah blah. But I'm just thinking, if they did that now, wouldn't they? I'm sure they'll make, because that's that in about 15 quid for a whole year's worth of subscription.
I think yeah. I think I pay about 50. It's 15 to 20 quid. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I think I don't understand it, mate. I just feel like they will benefit from it and we will benefit from it. But
don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me personally, I don't like the way they're releasing it in this kind of way. But
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Paper Mario because now we'll have a look at some of the upcoming releases coming out. So the first one I wanted to talk about was the Origami King, which is out on the 17th of July. From the trailers, it looks like we've got a new bad guy, King Ollie, and a
Yep.
new companion, who's King Ollie's sister, who goes with you throughout the game. It looks like the combat for a Paper Mario is completely new. Even for an RPG, it looks completely new. Some sort of
Bizarre.
weird system where you line up enemies round a circle to hit multiples at once, like some sort of puzzle RPG, which looks sick, but also it's turn-based, which Paper Mario is. But then there's a timer on the attacks, which puts pressure on the player, which I think makes the puzzle element even more interesting. And from the trailer as well, I'm pretty sure I've seen Super Mario 64, Sunshine, Odyssey, even Mario Party. Like, I am hyped for this one, yo. So we've all got Switches. What are we saying, yo?
well, do you want to go first, Colin?
I'm getting it. It looks amazing. Like like you said, the combat it looks like nothing I've ever played before.
Mm-hmm.
In an interesting way, yeah, or
yeah,
no,
cautious. A really interesting way. I'm excited to play it, like something fresh for an RPG.
Yeah.
And like the Paper Mario games are always fun, and yeah.
Oh, they've had
really
some bad
excited for it.
ones. They've had
Have
some
they?
bad ones. Yeah, they've had.
Oh,
Well,
the sticker ones.
they've had one on the 2 last ones were quite famous for being really bad.
Well,
But
I think, sorry, but for like turn-based RPGs, like Paper Mario and that's my favorite sort of combat.
yeah,
Rather than like a Final Fantasy turn-based. It's like the South Park ones. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. It's the same kind of thing. What
Yeah.
about you, Stephen? What do you think? Are you looking forward to this one? Have you played Paper Mario's?
I've not played any of them, so it's a bit of a
Oh,
weird one for me.
does the
she.
trailer interest you at all?
Yeah, definitely. I do like the turn-based stuff, but not many games do it now. Even Final Fantasy's changed from it, hasn't it, throughout the years? So I'm glad, like, just like something that stuck to it. But yeah, that's definitely interesting.
Are you? Sorry, go on.
Like my Switch at the minute is like I just feel like I've only got really like Smash and Mario Kart. I do want Zelda at one point, but
You need to get Zelda.
yeah, I just feel like I need more games, and this is like could be one of them. So.
Are you a Mario fan? Like I know obviously you're a Sonic fan, but I can't ever remember having conversations with you about Mario.
Well, I do like Mario, like Sunshine and stuff like that. But I've never played like Galaxy and stuff.
No
Did you
way.
play Odyssey?
Would I play it?
Have you played?
Oh no, I haven't. No.
Alright, okay. That's interesting, that. But you do think this Paper Mario looks good?
Yeah, I'm probably waiting for like you guys like verdicts on it and stuff like that.
Made a scapegoat.
Scapegoats.
Don't listen to the reviewers.
Oh God.
Yeah. We'll all have different opinions, probably. What about you then, Nathan? Are you hyped for this one?
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm really hyped for this because, like I was saying to Colin,
I think I heard your hands rub together then, you know.
yeah, like I was saying to Colin, the original two, right? Paper Mario 1 and Paper Mario 2, them two games were really good. And that's what's kind of like made the series. Like people always remember them two games. There were some very forgettable ones, some very bad ones that we all I think we all just purposely try and forget or we just don't know about them. But there was one on the, I think there was one on the Wii U or Wii and one on the DS. But they just weren't that good. I think one was like Color Splash and one was like
Stickers or something.
Stickers, yeah.
Stickers.
And there was one when it was like the teamed up with the other like RPG series, the Mario and Luigi RPG series.
Yeah.
It was them two games put into one. Yeah, they were good, but that game was really bad. But yeah, so the thing about this one is it looks like it's gone back to its roots. It looks like it's gone back to a story-driven kind of Mario Paper Mario game. It looks like you're getting companions again, which is something that you just miss when you don't have it. Like having those companions it feels like a proper RPG story-driven game. You know, when you'll go to a new city and you'll get a new partner and then you'll get a new partner, it just adds more to the game. But the graphics look really good too. Like obviously they've improved on it. I mean, it's only paper. How good can it look? But it does look better, I think.
Yeah,
like,
the style of it looks really nice.
Yeah, and also from what we've seen, the humor looks like it's there as well. Because the humor for Paper Mario games, is like half the games for me. You know, just the dialogue and with the characters when they speak to each other, like they just say stuff. Yeah, to me, I think Paper Mario kind of influenced a lot of other like indie RPGs now that you see, with really funny like dialogue and kind of good humor. Because the humor for like Paper Mario games is just like a good feel good game, you know. Like I do like it a lot, and with characters like Mario and Luigi, it's very like you can just relate to it a lot more easier than you would with other games. But with this one, like the battle system, like you're saying, Colin, it's like a puzzle and a battle system. It's like you kind of got to solve it, and then the better you solve it, you can eliminate the enemies quicker. From what I've seen, anyway. But more importantly, what I've been hearing like about 2-3 days ago from a couple of people is it's going to be an open road one.
Really?
That as well.
Yeah. I mean, and going off the trailer, the original trailer, it kind of looks like it could be true because there's a part when you're on like a little car, there's a part when you're on a boat. You look like you're traveling across the map of some sort.
It looks like
that's completely new.
A shitload of fun mini games as well. Like it's taken it looks like to me it's taken the best aspects out of all the Mario games so far and combined them into one. And I'll be honest, like I am probably more hyped for this game than any other game right now.
Really?
That includes all everything we've seen at the PS5 launch, the stuff we've seen from the Xbox release, and any other games that are coming out in the next few months. Like for me, this is the big one. And that's weird because I would have never have thought that I'd be this hyped for a Paper Mario game.
Even Halo Infinite.
Even Halo Infinite, yo. I know. Even more than that. So then, let's try and do this for all the games if we can. Out of 10, how hyped are we for this, Colin? Out of 10.
9.
Nathan?
9.
Stephen?
6.
Oh, that sounds fair. So then the next game I want to talk about is Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, why the podcast starts?
If you've not heard about this, then where the fuck have you been? Nathan, I want to start with you on this one. You said the other day, I think it was, or the other week, that you think there's been too much released on this game. You mentioned it being, you've not known a game to be as hyped as this since, what is it, GTA 5?
Yeah.
Now, can you tell us what you mean about it? Do you think that's a good thing, or do you think that's a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing because obviously because of this, it's everyone's going to see it. A lot of people know about this game, even people that don't even specifically play video games. Like my wife, she's not a hardcore gamer, but she certainly knows a lot about this game, which has surprised me. But I think it's a good thing. But the bad side to it is it gonna fall under them very, very high expectations? Because the expectations for this game, it's almost as if it doesn't get Game of the Year or Game of the Decade, it's disappointing. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
do you know what the hype reminds me of?
What?
The hype it reminds me of Watch Dogs. Like if you remember before Watch Dogs came out, everyone was like, "Oh, this is going to be the best game ever." Yeah, the first one.
You know what the game reminds me of in general, including the hype, but not quite as much, is Deus Ex. And I like Deus Ex, but I wasn't a big fan of it. So I'm reserved about Cyberpunk. From what I've seen, and there is so much fucking gameplay. I'm pretty sure people are streaming it on Twitch right now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And like with so many characters and the interactive environment, my concern for this game is that it's going to be a bit basic. And from the clips that I've seen, like with the voice acting, I wasn't overly impressed. And the hand-to-hand combat, and I don't know how much you kind of do with that. It looks really janky. Yeah. So I've got a lot of concerns to this game, which is why I'm quite reserved about it. What about you, Stephen? You've not really said anything about this one.
I don't know. It's just can't say much about it. Can you?
Are you looking forward to it? Do you want it? Is it a game you think is going to be a game of the year, or?
Nah. I think Last of Us be game of the year.
I am hyped, but I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Adam, where I'm quite reserved about it. Just because the hype is so high. I've seen games with hype that big and they've just flopped.
Can I just ask you, well, not just you, Colin, but you and Adam, because you both got a kind of similar opinion on it. I do understand where you're coming from, but don't you think with the amount of content we have and the raw gameplay footage, it's not because like sometimes they'll show like gameplay footage, but it's all rehearsed, to make it look and smooth. It's like you said, like I know what you mean with the fighting system. It looks quite janky in a way. It kind of reminds me of those like RPG, like PC RPGs, like the old Deus Ex sort of thing. And I do get that. But don't you think with the amount of like footage we have now, it's like they're quite confident, I think, in this game. It doesn't just look good, but like they have shown us a lot. I think they've shown us a bit too much, to be honest. I hope they're not shown, half the game. But it's like with other games, a lot of other games, they will kind of hide it until like about a month until the game comes out. But they have shown, if not too much, gameplay of this game.
Yeah,
should have done a Death Stranding.
I
tried to not. Yeah. I wasn't gonna mention it, but Colin got what I say. But do you know what I mean? Like it does show the confidence behind the developers, and they do have a good. But they do what is it? Witcher 3, like one of the heights. It's not like one of the best-selling games ever, but it's like one of the most respected games. I feel like.
Personally, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And I just feel like, do you guys not think with the amount of content is shown and raw gameplay footage and just the characters they're showing. Do you not think that kind of like helps you more invest into it more?
No, because it's showing far too much. It's like feels like there's going to be like no surprises left for you when you actually play the game.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
they
a bit
have
disappointing. I think I agree with Stephen. It's a bit disappointing. Like there's too much out there, and to be honest with you, it's not like I'm excited for the next trailer or I'm excited to see the next thing on it because it's all out there. Do you know what I mean? So when it's released, I don't know. I'm not.
It's like I was reading before on it. There's like a trailer where the character like wall runs or something, but now supposedly they took wall running out of the game.
It's massive, man. It's a messy release. It is a messy release.
No, I think the opposite. I think they've delayed it so much to get it spot on. But also, I do think this latest delay is just to launch with the. I forgot to mention this before. Actually, when we were talking about the PlayStation release date and stuff like that. I think they actually delayed this game so it can actually launch with the new generation consoles.
Oh, it's coming out in 2077.
How many discs do you reckon it'll be for the PS4?
Oh God, no.
Maybe 2. That seems like the standard, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because I think, looking at it, I think it's going to have more content than Red Dead or The Last of Us. So I reckon it could be 3.
Oh shit!
Well,
what Lost Odysseys type thing? Yeah.
Yeah, like LA Noire was 3 discs on the 360.
Yeah, but that was a 360, man.
But they have also gone out and said that everything they've shown so far, it's only from the beginning of the game. Like after you do the heist mission that they've kind of like shown like bits of, you kind of like, and then obviously they've shown that cinematic trailer when that drug dealer kind of like double crosses you.
Yeah.
After that, I think you go to like a new town and that's where you meet Keanu Reeves sort of thing, and then we've not really seen past that. So
the main thing for me, which is hyping it, is it's the world and the design that they've done. I love it. I think it looks fucking amazing, and I just want to be able to like explore that world.
I agree. That's the biggest thing that's drawing me.
I was happy when they announced like a new anime and stuff like for it as well.
Yeah, it's a clever marketing. That it is really clever. Go on then. Out of 10, how hyped are we for this one, Stephen?
8.
Nathan?
10.
Oh, Colin?
I want to say a 10, but it's probably an 8.
I'm probably about a 7, to be honest. It's 6 or 7.
My heart's saying 10. My brain's saying.
You've been in love before.
I've been broken hearted. I've been hurt.
The next game then is a bit more light-hearted. We've just had the trailer for Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. I
love that title. Yeah, I love that title.
Due to be released on the 2nd of October, I think. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed the Insane trilogy, and I think I'll enjoy this one even more. It's just a good, wholesome, fun platformer in it. But so we'll start with you, Colin. Have you got any thoughts on this? Do we have any expectations, for what needs to be included for it to be a decent Crash game? Or, I mean, the gameplay just looks more of the same, really. Is that a good or a bad thing?
I think it's a great thing. Who is it that made it? It was Vicarious Visions.
I don't know. To be honest,
it was Have It, not Have It. Yeah, Vicarious Visions remade it, and I think they did a fantastic job. Because I don't know who took over the Crash IP after the third one, because it wasn't Naughty Dog.
Yeah,
it just went straight downhill. Like they were trying some new stupid stuff which just did not work. But Vicarious Visions seem to be looking after it really well, and from what I've seen of the trailer, it looks like more of the same, but that's not a bad thing at all.
I think it's actually a direct sequel, isn't it, to
Crash 3.
What about you, Stephen? Are you a big Crash fan? Are you looking forward to it?
I do like Crash, but it's like, again, it's getting too much of the same now for me. And it also depends on the price of the game, I think, as well.
So if it's a full
price, release it
at
full price, I wouldn't get it. But if it's like, say, £25-30, I probably would.
I don't know. I think this is a full price game. Yeah, I think Crash is a good franchise. Deserves it. Like, I can understand with the Insane trilogy because they were remakes, but not with this.
I feel like I agree with Stephen on that. Just because games these days are a lot bigger than Crash was in terms of size and content.
Yeah.
Unless they made the game like I don't know, like a free roaming sort of thing, like an open world, which I don't think they're going to do. I think it's going to be about 25-30 quid, and it's going to be maybe the length of the first 3 Crash games.
Do you mean as all 3 of them, or?
Yeah, the first 3.
Together?
I think it's going to have that many levels.
And what about you, Nathan?
I mean, I kind of agree in some parts what they say. Like, I definitely agree. I think the price tag is going to be about 35 quid-ish. And I don't want to like devalue the game or anything like that. It's just, it's like they're purposely making it like it plays like a PlayStation 1 game, if that makes sense, because they want it to play like the old games. And I do think that when they took over Crash and they did the whole remake, the trilogy remake, that was like easily one of the best remakes I've ever seen anyone do to like an old classic. Like, they didn't mess with it too much. Like, they just improved the graphics. And I remember, like, I've never been a big Crash fan. I did play them, of course, but I think I just played like 1, 2, and then I think I played 3 when I was like a lot older. But I think when they released the trilogy, I think they did such a good job. It was really polished, man. It was like super polished.
Yeah.
But I can't. Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the game, but they purposely look like they've gone out the way to make it play just like the PlayStation 1 titles. I mean, we've seen a couple of new mechanics in the trailer. Like, he has armor. They have like some sort of levels when the gravity's on the wall and you're running on the rooftop and you're running on the walls. It looks really interesting. Like, they need to do stuff like that, like fresh new like gimmicks for each level, or not just for every level, but here and there. And then obviously just need to make it play like the PlayStation 1 titles. But I can't see it being full price, no, like games you see nowadays.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
It reminds me of Mega Man 9 when it came out on 360.
Yeah.
Because it had been like 15, 20 years since the last Mega Man game, like proper Mega Man game. And he kept it to exactly what it was.
Well, yeah.
A
A
lower
more
price.
like recent game that's relevant to it as well is Streets of Rage 4, right? Like, I mean, I know the art style, they've changed up the art style, but that game plays just like the old ones, which, you know, are years and years old, and people love it because of that. Like it's like back in the day, you kind of feel a bit limited. You didn't feel that at the time, but if you play old games now, you feel a bit limited than what you can do now. But with Streets of Rage 4, they released it, and you can't go too crazy. You can only do the mechanics you could do from the very old games. And that was a good. I mean, I love Streets of Rage 4. I always talk about it here and there, but yeah, I think Crash is going to follow the same formula. And going off the trilogy, I think they've definitely gave that franchise like a lot of respect, and I think they deserve to bring a brand new, like, you know, a brand new Crash game and not just remake. Because I always thought they were going to remake the really bad Crash games after after no Crash Racing and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I kind of see this in the same price like as the Crash Racing game. I think that was like 30 to 35 quid.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the Crash Racing game, I think it's slightly cheaper. I think it's 30 quid.
Was it?
Got it, I'm looking at it now. But yeah, I mean, I agree with Stephen on this one. I think it does need some new gameplay. New mechanics might be enough to save it, but not enough for warrant a full price game.
I just don't get why they don't make like a co-op one where it has like co-op puzzles and stuff. You know, she was like, I don't remember the name of the characters, but like, you know, like the girl Crash Bandicoot, stuff like that.
I think Nathan hit the nail on the head though. It's because of how well the trilogy did. I think they're just kind of, because like even my missus was playing it. Do you know what I mean? And she doesn't really play games, but she was bashing it hard. The kids were playing it. I was playing it. Like, it appealed to a lot of people, and I reckon sales-wise, I don't know, but I'm assuming it did really well. And like Nathan said, it
did very well.
The franchise. So then, hypeometer for Crash 4. Stephen, what are you saying?
5.
Colin?
8.
You're hyped up this year, Colin.
I know.
Nathan?
7.
Yeah, I agree. 7 for me as well. So the next game, and I already know Stephen's hype score for this one, it's 12. So the next game we're looking at is Halo Infinite.
Bop, 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 bop.
Bop, bop. So they actually released a new teaser trailer this week or last week. It was some sort of voice communication thing. I think a gameplay demo is going to be released at the Xbox event at the end of the month. We haven't seen any gameplay yet. But the game itself is expected to be out fall 2020. So we're looking within the next 4 months, really. So is anyone hyped for this? Stephen, I mean, like I said, Halo 2 were the days when you used to get that notepad and pen and get those equations going. Is your brain pumping for Infinite?
No, but I can tell you, when they show the gameplay reveal, it's just going to look like your Halo 2.
You reckon?
Just the same boring stuff again. It's just going to graphics.
I agree. I'm back.
It's like what, like it's like you guys play what, Gears 5 now? It's just like Gears 4, Gears 3. Like nothing's changed.
Yeah.
I agree.
I completely agree with you. I am not hyped for this. Not hyped.
That's why it's dying out. Or if it's already dead, I don't know.
I mean, I think they've not. Well, we have no idea. Do you know what I mean? It could be a fucking racing game for all we know so far. Like we don't know. But it's that issue with Microsoft that we all keep coming back to, and it's they flog that dead horse, until they get a twitch out of it. It's like they fucked. I'm actually getting pissed off now with Microsoft because they are fucking their franchises into the ground, They're proper fucking George Lucas in the shit out of them, and yeah, it's fucked up. I'm not hyped for this. Colin, what are you saying?
Well, I can't play it anyway. I've not got an Xbox, and I'm not going to get one.
Oh shit! Right.
No, I agree with you. Like they need to do something with it. Like Halo is an original Xbox game and have not really evolved much since. Like
GTA 5. Well,
yeah,
sorry.
GTA 5. Like God of War was a PS2 game, but the most recent God of War is a completely different game to what it was on the PS2, and Halo's not done that.
Evolved. Yeah, all
they've just like Halo and I don't know, but Gears seem exactly the same as they were when it first came out.
Yeah.
I think if they wanted Halo to be a big thing, they'd need to do something big. And to be honest, it doesn't look like they are. It looks like another Halo Reach or something.
It looks it's hard to say. Yeah, it's hard to say.
One cinematic trailer.
I know,
but the actual they're releasing a demo though that you can play, aren't they? Like
that sounds hype.
The what?
I hope they are.
Yeah, that's what they're apparently doing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a playable demo, like a beta. And we've not seen anything on it. Like, well, apart from the cinematics, we've not seen the gameplay, and yet they're saying that. So this is, it's not a shadow drop, but I think Microsoft is shitting themselves because once they release it, everyone's going to have the opinion that me, Colin, and Stephen have expressed so far, where it's like, that's Halo 2, motherfucker. Like, what are you doing, man? You're not tricking us with that shit. So, because of how much I hate this game, I don't really want to spend a lot of time on it.
Well, I just
they need to do something drastic, I think.
I mean, yeah, I do agree with you guys. Like them, especially, it's like the Gears and Halo. They're kind of going through the same thing. But the only thing is with Halo is I don't think it's as bad as what you're saying, just because I feel like Halo 1 to 3 were good games, right? And then when it went to Halo 4 and then Halo 5, but it wasn't made by Bungie then. It seems when different people were creating it, and Bungie went to make Destiny, Halo 4 and Halo 5, they kind of just flopped. But I do have the same kind of worries as you guys, but I don't know. They've not shown anything of it so far, and they are hyping up really, like they're proper hyping up. And even though they're not showing any gameplay yet, I'm just hoping they show us something big. Like I said this before, but I do hope I'm not saying I want one or it needs one, but I like something big like a battle royale in there, or something as big as that. In the game.
They could do a battle royale.
Yeah.
They definitely could.
That would be a big thing, but. COD have done it. Do you know what I mean? COD are massive in comparison to Halo. COD is significantly bigger than Halo, the franchise.
Yeah, COD's killing it.
COD have that the battle royale genre now is going to take something different, and I don't think We've got the different characters and legends with Apex. We've got the building with Fortnite. We've got the full-on serious FPS with COD or whatever it is, shooting game with COD. Like Halo can't. It's not got it's not got an IP. It's not got something unique that sells it to people. Outside of just getting in a Warthog or a Banshee, like that's not enough. I don't think.
See, I disagree because like this is kind of the Halo is like sci-fi game. It's like I don't think we've got like a battle royale that's like focused on sci-fi. You know, like with the guns, the guns are like lasers and stuff like that. Valorant,
Yeah,
that's not a battle royale, is it?
Apex is probably the closest.
But yeah, it's like I mean, this is going to be like a sci-fi game, and if it does have battle royale, like you said, the vehicles are already there, and they are really good at the moment. I mean, I'm sure they can add more, but getting into like a spaceship shooting or getting those space guns, because the guns are very weird. The lightsaber kind of sword as well. I think this definitely. I don't think it's going to overtake any of the big battle royales, but with it being an Xbox exclusive, it's definitely going to have its own little corner. It might be one of those games. It's like Gears of War. I know Gears of War is not going to be well liked by a lot of people, but it's my game and I like to play it. Do you know what I mean? I just wish the community for it was a lot bigger, really. But I mean, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's just this hypothetical that it is a battle royale. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I need, and yeah, I'm with you guys. It needs something big. If it's just even if they release it, if they show it off and it's a really good looking Halo game, it's not enough, is it? I don't think.
Go on then, Nathan. Hypometer, yo.
8.
Oh, what? Oh, Colin.
2.
Stephen.
4.
Yeah, I'd say about 5. Yeah. The next game I am really looking forward to, yo, and I know Colin, you'll be pumped for this one, yo. You're talking about it so much on the other podcast. It is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, yo. Now this it's set for release in December 2020. It's written by the same guy who wrote Black Flag, which is personally my favorite Assassin's Creed game.
When I've stopped playing it.
That's
when I stopped. I played
it
them all
good
before.
Black Flag, though, wasn't it? It was
no, good. Yeah, I've heard from a few people that that's one of their favorites.
The naval battles are apparently staying in it, but they're not going to be like Black Flag or like Odyssey, which was the last one. And it looks like you start off in Norway, you go to England where the bulk of the game is, and it's split between York and London with you going to other cities. So we might even get to roam around Fallowfield and Moss Side. That's exciting. So yeah, start with you, Colin. I'll start with you, Colin, the biggest hype man for Assassin's Creed generally. Oh. I mean, what have you played many Assassin's Creed games? Is this on your radar?
I've played Assassin's Creed 1, I've played Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh.
And to be honest, every single one of them look exactly the same.
This is not fair.
I'm going to edit the shit out of this one, yeah.
Like, it looks the same as it always has.
I completely agree. It looks so good. Moving on.
Assassin's Creed is the Call of Duty of whatever game.
Oh, no.
That's the Assassin's Creed genre. Comes out every year. Every game's the same. In a different
comes out every 2 years now.
Every 2 years now, then.
Because they got in trouble.
Yeah, they look it looks shy.
Shy, right.
No gameplay, boy.
Stephen, what are you saying, yo? I'm worried.
Yeah, I think the gameplay is like pretty much the same. Like the combat's not there, but like the world and like the map and everything is, and the history, like proper interesting about like the Vikings, and I didn't know about the England stuff as well. That's interested me as well. So the main reason I wanted to play Syndicate as well, actually.
Yeah. Is the combat the same as it used to be, where it's like one guy at a time, the same way as Batman is?
No. You mean like kind of? It's like it's evolved just like other games of that style have, like Spider-Man. It's the same.
But it's still one guy at a time.
No. You can fight multiple guys.
Right.
Yeah,
Do you mean
but they do attack you one at a time. I gotta admit.
No, they don't. No,
So
they
one
don't.
guy
No,
attacks
they
you, and the
don't.
other circling, dancing
Pretty
around.
much, yeah.
Dang it.
Oh no!
Origins. I'm assuming- You played
you're
Origins.
saying no.
Nathan?
What's
At
that,
least it,
sorry?
Did you play Origins?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I keep that one quiet, yeah.
But
it's
it was a
like
big
Batman,
criticism
you can
of it,
counter
though.
two guys at the same time and stuff. Like
But-
Spider-Man and stuff like
You fight multiple people at once. It's not one-on-one combat like it was in Black Flag or Syndicate. You do fight multiple people.
But one guy attacks you at a time.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm aware of the conversation we're having right now. Yeah,
So it's not like Spider-Man.
What do you mean?
Someone said it was like
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
can you not do them both together, like web sling two people into each other or whatever?
Yeah, but one guy attacks you. Like everyone waits and one guy attacks.
No, they don't wait. There can be two people attack you at the same time. And
Right.
you've got to dodge out the way. And
They
then
should
go,
just do it
No.
like a Dynasty Warriors.
that.
No,
Well, what
like,
about you, Nathan? Are you happy?
yeah, my take on it. Like the thing is, I don't actually have anything against Assassin's Creed games. I played like Colin. I played the first one, second one, and I played the third one. Was it when you get your own clan?
You
You
played
get, like,
Syndicate, didn't you?
Whack. Third one
yeah,
was
yeah, and then I
worse.
played, and then yeah, I forgot the name of it, and then I played a bit of Black Flag because it was a PlayStation 4 launched game, I think, just because I wanted to, more or less because I wanted to play the PlayStation mode of the game. But and then I played Syndicate, the one that's in England.
Yeah.
And I thought that was good. Like, I definitely agree that in terms of the years, the amount of years I didn't play Assassin's Creed for, the jump wasn't like huge. But they did, like going off the last one. What was it called? Origins, is it?
Origins. Oh no,
Yeah.
sorry, it was Odyssey, the Roman Empire one.
Oh, okay. Which is the one you're in Egypt?
Origins. That was
Origins.
Odyssey.
Yeah. Well, going from Origins onwards, it's like, I mean, a lot of people kept complaining because they kept releasing them once a year or something very similar to that. And then they actually stopped and they actually said, okay, we're going to bring them out every 2 years, so they can have more time developing the games, because they used to be quite glitchy here and there as well. But they seem to iron them out now. But I did enjoy the one that was set in the UK, Syndicate. I thought that was, but I think I enjoyed it more because it was in England. But the gameplay and the mechanics were, they were solid. They were there. I had fun with it. But the thing with this new game, which I'm kind of worried about, I'm not too worried, but
It looks
it's the
same.
way. No, that's the thing. It kind of doesn't. Like, do you not think with it being Vikings, it kind of loses its Assassin's Creed like identity?
No, not
Because-
at all. How?
Because how are you supposed to like stealth? Like in Vikings, more like
Yeah, but
war,
you're not.
like,
You're not
sword
a
and
Viking.
sword.
You're not like a part of a Viking army running in with loads of people. I mean, the Romans weren't stealthy. The Egyptians weren't sneaky. Like it's
Well,
just.
I
the
thought you
Greek-
was.
The Italians weren't sneaky. Huh?
I thought. Sorry, I'm not too sure. I thought you was a Viking. I thought that was the.
Yeah,
thing
but
of
you're
it.
not like you're not gonna go in and be like drinking from a horn of ale and fucking raping women and shit. You're like a assassin Viking.
Yeah, it could be one of them where his
Right.
village might just gets burnt and he's the only survivor, maybe. I don't know.
Well, you
That
think
probably
he,
makes sense.
he goes and helps England. He sails over to England. I think the story is that he sails over to England and that he helps the kings of, because there's 4 kings of England during that period, and he helps all 4 of them defend against Vikings. From what I know, but you'll be against the Templar, and it's the same story, but I like it. It's interesting.
No,
Well,
yeah, I mean the thing is they always release a new Assassin's Creed game and it's got a completely different theme, which is really good. Like, but I think that also makes people like or not like it. It's like for me, the one that was set in England, Syndicate, that was definitely like for me. I actually bought that game and played it, enjoyed it. But with the Vikings one, I'm not really a big Vikings fan or have any kind of interest. No, it's not making me interested to play the game, but I don't hate it at the same time.
I mean, a hype meter then, Stephen. What you saying for this one?
7.
Nice, yeah. Colin,
0.
Nathan.
I'm gonna give it a 6 because we've only seen a cinematic so far, right?
It's
Gameplay. We saw gameplay, didn't we?
yeah. Pretty sure gameplay has been released on it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I was trolling about the Xbox.
No, yeah, I
think
think
gameplay
it's
has
just-
been released, hasn't it?
No, it's like a joke in it because the Xbox said they're gonna show
Yeah.
gameplay.
Oh, I thought it'd been released. Well, I'd say I'm an 8 for this one. I'm an 8. The next game then I want to talk about is Ghost, and the last game actually, the Ghost of Tsushima. So we know Sucker Punch made this one.
Yeah.
It's due to be launched on the 17th of July, I think. So basically, you're a samurai defending your island from a Mongol invasion. It looks like third-person stealth action adventure, with the main weapons being, your katana. Looks like some pretty cool one-on-one and group fights. And you've got all the kind of the samurai arsenal, the smoke bombs, kunai, that sort of stuff. Like the trailers, the scenery. I know they've released an 18-minute gameplay trailer. I think the scenery looked incredible. The sound was really impressive, and the graphics just look sick. But one thing is that outside of the trailers, I don't really know a lot about this game. I think it's a sort of free roamer sandbox type game, but I'm not too sure. But Stephen, I'd like to get your thoughts on this. I think you're a fan of Japanese culture, and every kid growing up has kind of pretended to be a ninja or a samurai, and I don't feel like we've had a game. I mean, obviously, what was it on the Xbox we had? Not iNinja. What are they called?
iNinja.
Not iNinja. What was the ninja game called on?
Like Connect games.
iNinja's like a Saturday morning cartoon.
iNinja was a fucking sick PS2.
Yeah, it was. But if you want a ninja experience, I offer that.
Ninja Gaiden. I'm thinking of Ninja
But it's about what was that Fruit Ninja one when you like cut the fruit?
No, but
Ninja Gaiden, yeah.
Ninja Gaiden. That was the ninja version. Are we looking at this game as a samurai? Is this going to be our chance to be a badass motherfucking samurai?
The game reminds me of like Red Dead Redemption, but you're a samurai.
Yeah.
That's
I kind of got.
what I'm looking at.
It looked kind of like a Hitman, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Dynasty Warriors type feel to it. Do you know what I mean? Like Far Cry, I think it kind of reminds me of more than anything. But you're a samurai. So what are you saying about this, Stephen? Are you looking forward to this one? Have you seen much about it?
Yeah, I'm proper looking forward to it. It's just like the ways you can go about stuff. Like you can go in like scenarios at two different options, either stealth or like a proper like samurai. Like you bow into people and everything like that, or you can just be a nasty like bastard and just like slit people's throat and stuff like that. So I like just the option of it, really.
It looks like it's got a lot of different choices. That's why I kind of got a Hitman feel for it as well, because it looks like you can do different ways of doing things. What about you then, Nathan?
No, I think this to me is like just one of many. Like Sony when you just released these like exclusives, like they are really high quality kind of games, especially when you like look at the 18-minute gameplay trailer. Like you can tell a lot of work's gone into them, and Sucker Punch, they are very respectable. I really liked Infamous games. I really like the Infamous games. They are a respectable company. From the gameplay they shown, I was really pleasantly surprised. Like I thought it looked okay, but then when he started showing the gameplay and he's showing it in good detail, like Steven said, I like the aspect of you can be an honorable samurai when before you go to a fight, you do your bow and then you do the one-on-one and stuff like that. Or you can wait till nighttime and you can actually do it like through a ninja kind of way, like stealth kills and not honorable and kind of like it's kind of like you're a bit of a like Steven said, you're a bit of a nasty bastard, really. But also like going off what we've seen, a lot of people get a lot of comparisons to Breath of the Wild. Like the world they were showing, it's like they said, I don't know how much truth there is to it, but they were saying anything you can see you can go to.
Wow.
I mean, obviously you can't climb. They've not mentioned about climbing. You can't
There is
see
climbing, isn't it? Well, I don't know about climbing.
No, like Zelda climbing when you can climb anything. So I don't think it'll have that. But I do think the open world looks good. My only concern at the moment, because I do think it looks good, is I don't want it to be one of those like sandbox games when the world looks amazing, because it looks really nice. The like flowers and the grass and the wind blowing. It probably gives you that theme. But I just worry it's going to be like a big world when there's not a lot in that world. It's more like you can go from hit A to B, and it's just more the journey rather than doing stuff on the way. Like I hope side quests pop up on the way from A to B, sort of thing, to distract you.
Like Red Dead.
Yeah. Well,
that was kind of what I was thinking in terms of Far Cry, because that's what that lacks in, and that's what it kind of reminded me of, a lot of open fields and rolling hills and mountainous regions. But I didn't notice. I think if that was gonna happen in the game, I think that would have been hyped up in the trailers or the gameplay trailer. Do you know what I mean? Just riding on your horse and someone going, "Oi, samurai, Mister Samurai!"
Can you
But I
get a
didn't
splint
see.
out my toe?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't see none of that.
That's why I'm worried about it, because like they didn't really show much of that, and I'm thinking, are they hiding it, or did they just not think too much of it, or maybe they just didn't want to show too much gameplay? They just want to show the core gameplay.
But I
But
think when you're in the villages and you got to burn down the ships or whatever the towns, like I think that looks like that's enough for me. If they execute that really well. What about you, Colin? You've not said anything yet.
I've not seen as much as you guys on it, but I feel like this could be Sucker Punch's Uncharted in the way that it's going to elevate them to one of the best developers about. Like it could be their Uncharted, like in the same way.
Wow, man, that's a big statement for.
No,
I didn't see much on it.
It's just a point I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because before Uncharted, Naughty Dog was Crash and Jack and Daxter. I think this could be their big thing that puts them on another level.
I kind of semi agree with that, because they did have Infamous, and that was a brilliant game. But I reckon this will bring them into 2020. And
no, like I do agree with what you guys are saying. It's like Infamous, they were like good exclusives, but they were never like Game of the Year kind of games or seen as that. And they were never like tens and tens. They got decent reviews and good reviews. But I'm interested, like, what is it, Colin, that you think? What's that step that you think they're gonna do to make it to level themselves up?
Well, like you say, like the Breath of the Wild comparison. Right. If this is anywhere near Breath of the Wild, then that's straight away a fucking top tier developer.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've got a big opportunity here, and I hope they don't waste it. Is anyone going for a first day purchase on this one?
Me.
Yeah. Nathan, are you?
I would normally say yes, but it comes out on the same day as Paper Mario, so no.
We'll do the hypometer afterwards, so this will probably give away my thing. But I'm struggling with this one. Like the reviews, I was reading about it today. The reviews are due out on the 14th, I think.
Yeah.
So that for me is going to be a big factor as to whether I get this or Paper Mario.
Yeah.
But then the kids will probably make me get Paper Mario. I'd rather get this, I think I would anyway.
Well, yeah, they're lifting the embargo code on the 14th, and it comes out on the 17th. I mean, if I would be worried if the embargo code was the 17th, you know what I mean? I always worry when they lift the embargo code on the day of release, because it's like, are they hiding something? But it's enough days, for them to be confident with the game.
No, yeah, I mean, I think I just want to see the review. It's nothing to do with the actual. I think they're doing anything. I just thought it'll help me decide. So then, hype on this one. Stephen, you sound keen. We'll start with you. What are you saying?
Solid 9.
Yeah. Nathan?
8.
Colin?
6 or 7.
Okay, so the next Uncharted, that's
no, I'm not saying it's gonna be. I said it could be.
Could be.
If it is that good, then I'm saying they've got the opportunity for it to be.
They got more Uncharted space.
I'm not saying it's the next Uncharted. It's going to be Sucker Punch's equivalent to Uncharted.
And that statement is wide enough that you could literally apply it to any game. So
yeah.
The next Paper Mario could be the next Uncharted, yeah. But for me, anyway, I reckon it's a 9. I agree.
I didn't think you guys say a 9. I thought you were just kind of like semi on it, like this.
Well,
too hype.
I'm fully on it.
You're rated on it.
Yeah.
I don't semi on it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday, I started watching some trailers about it because I hadn't really seen a lot on it, and then today I started watching more, and like reading people's thoughts on it and like watching YouTube reviews, previews of it and stuff. And yeah, man, I am mega hyped for this one. Like the look of it
polished.
And the feel of it. Yeah, that's exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
I've not seen enough of it to have properly.
I'm probably only slightly different with Adam on this. Like I won't watch reviews on it.
Oh no,
I think
I
it
don't
gives
watch
too
reviews.
much on it. Like it
No,
looks
I
good
get
enough that I
it.
can just get it and enjoy it, and if I don't, then fair enough, I can always send it back.
I mean, I'm hoping to get some spoiler-free reviews. I'm not going to do a Last of Us on it.
Yeah, even spoiler-free ones I won't watch.
That's the thing with me. Like, if I want a game, I'll get it without looking at reviews because
No,
they'll
if it
taint
gets
my opinion.
bombed, if it gets bombed by the reviewers,
Well,
you ain't going to go for it.
No, I will. I got
That's the same thing
I
with
got Death Stranding.
Yeah.
But you
And
got
I liked it.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Start Select podcast with Colin, Adam, Stephen, and Nathan. GG's.
GG's.
GG's.